Are you stuck? What about unhappy? Join Alena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for 30-minute moments as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. It's time to celebrate that life with 30-minute moments.
Welcome to 30-Minute Moments. I'm your host, Alena Chapman, and oh my gosh, we have another fantastic guest. You know, we really work to bring you the very best of everyone we have so that you can have that ease and betterment in your life, which is very cool. I also want to talk about, just before we get started, you know something. If you feel stuck in your business, you feel like the salespeople in your business don't understand you, you feel like you have people that, you know, the product isn't getting out on time, your foundation, your A-team, the people that work for you are not getting your vision, all right, then I have the program for you. It is called New Vision Leadership. And I'll tell you what, I'm seeing miracles. I'm seeing miracles happen with this. I'm seeing people really know what they want and be able to learn the art of communication, getting their vision down to the final tuning so that their team can take off and really create what they want. I also am finding that the teams themselves are on fire because they are now forming an A team. So if you're interested in that, go to Alena, ALENA 360.com. Alena360.com. All right, now on for the show. This woman is fantastic. Now, first I want to ask you, if your last relationship fell apart, and if your current relationship may not be working, or maybe you're single and you're looking for love, or you just want to fall in love with your own life and your own self again, well then, this guest is for you. I also want to ask you, because I'm preparing you what we're going to be talking about, do you put your partner's needs before your own? Aha! Boundaries and personal time, are they non-existent? You often push down your feelings so you won't rock the boat. And closeness and intimacy, they're distant memories. If this sounds like you, then my next guest is the perfect person. Her name is Nancy Levin. Nancy and I spoke earlier this year, and I've fallen in love with her. She is a pretty cool person. First of all, she's a best-selling author of several books, including this new book that I love, The New Relationship Blueprint. She's a master coach and creator of the Destination Me private coaching community. I love that, as well as many in-depth coaching programs. And she guides her clients to live life on their own terms. Yes, she was the event director of Hay House from 2002 to 2014. And now she hosts her own weekly call-in radio show called Jumpstart Your Life on Hay House Radio. You'll have to check it out along with listening to 30-Minute Moments. Anyway, with that, I am going to bring on Nancy Levin. Hello, Nancy.
Hello there. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, I am so happy to have you. So very, very happy. And you just launched this book, didn't you? Not too long ago.
I did earlier, about a month ago, actually. Yeah, early September.
Isn't it amazing? Oh, It's an excellent book. It's an excellent book.
Thank you so much. Okay,
so, all right, I told them all the woes of a relationship. Now, let's bring this up a notch. What is the new relationship blueprint you talk about?
Yeah, so really in a nutshell, the new relationship blueprint is understanding that we can love deeply without losing ourselves. So understanding that relationship isn't meant to save us, isn't meant to fix us, it's actually meant to grow us. And that relationship, first and foremost, is where we learn to love ourselves.
I love that.
That's really, yeah.
I love that. Now, you know that this sounds foreign to a lot of people. You know,
because it sounded very foreign to me for most of my life.
Well, and what's the movie? You complete me. Yeah, you complete me.
You complete me.
That's
which is predicated on this idea that we are not whole, that we need fixing, we need saving, and we need someone else to complete us.
Yeah.
And so that's the myth I'm busting here.
Oh, good. It needs to be busted. It definitely needs to be busted. And just think, if we were whole, we do, every time really, it comes down to us accepting and loving who we are first. And when we do that, everything in our life falls into place, including the relationship. Mm-hmm. And you even start to meet the right person, because you're on the right vibration level.
Yeah. When we're in right alignment with ourselves, I mean, first and foremost, the most important relationship we will ever be in is the one with ourselves.
It really is.
The relationship between me and me, you and you, is the most important relationship. And once that relationship is in right alignment, because we're, like you said, we're in the vibration, we're going to be able to draw toward us what will reconfirm and what will resonate with us, which we are doing at all times. However, most often we are living with these limiting beliefs, these shadow beliefs that were formed early in childhood, that were imprinted, that can sound any from, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, there must be something wrong with me, really everything funneling down to some version of I'm not worthy of love, I'm not worthy of happiness.
Exactly.
So when we're holding those beliefs, we hold them as fact. We don't even realize that our beliefs aren't fact, but our beliefs are simply long-held ideals about the way the world works and our role within it. And so we think that someone else outside of us is going to have us believe something positive about ourselves. And it doesn't work that way.
Well, it may. You get the flower or something and you think, yes, I'm wonderful for about a minute, but then the old beliefs come back.
Right, because it's an inside job. We have to make the shift inside.
Yeah.
And then we'll start to our beliefs are magnetic. So once we're in the right relationship with our beliefs in an empowered state, we'll be able to draw toward us what will support that.
And it's interesting. I know that, science has even said we live 95 to 98% from our subconscious mind. And what resides there? Our beliefs. So
that's right.
If we believe that we, can't find love, or we believe that we're not worthy, or we believe we need to be fixed, guess what? We're going to find someone who's going to fix us constantly until we can't stand it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. It's really something. Right. I love this. Now, what was it for you that you decided to write this book?
So for me, as all my books have been very personal.
Mine too.
Of course. So for me, writing this book came out of getting into a relationship post-divorce. So I had been married for 18 years. I had a very tumultuous marriage and divorce, got divorced, really thought, okay, I'm done with romance, with love, with relationship.
Yes.
I am good on my own. I'm woman, hear me roar.
Yeah, hear me roar.
and then I found myself in a relationship. And the question kept sort of bubbling up in me, how do we actually be in relationship after the one that fell apart or after the one that broke our heart?
Yes.
How do we do this again without doing it again?
And how do we not let that past relationship affect the new one?
Right. And the bottom line is that we are the common denominator in all of our relationships.
Yes, we are.
So our stuff is going to arise no matter who we are with.
Yes.
So it's not about the other person.
No.
I often say that I think relationship is like one long continuum with a revolving door.
Yeah.
And our parents go through that door, our our lovers go through that door, our siblings, our boss, our coworkers. We're constantly in relationship.
We are.
And we're constantly working out what needs to get worked out. And I firmly believe that we each came into this particular lifetime to learn a particular lesson.
Or many.
And that we orchestrate. We orchestrate, not consciously, but we orchestrate exactly what needs to happen, who we need to be in relationship with, to learn what we've come here to learn.
I'll tell a quick story because I want our listeners to really see how this works. I remember when I was working in Right Relations and we do different classes, and I remember in one class I had a woman who was just really, she was filing for divorce. She was vehement about her husband was a cheater. Her husband was a cheater. And I had him in the other class and I was talking to him, and this man loved her more than anything. And he was the most, not the type of man that would go having affairs. But you never know, and you don't judge. However, I did ask him, I said, what really happened? Because she's really upset. And he said, well, it wasn't that way. I love her. I would never cheat on her. But it got so bad that she believed so badly that I was a cheater that she started calling the women at work. She was ruining my life. People were scared to work with me if they were female. She was scaring everyone away. She was ruining my business and everything else. And it's very interesting. When I went back to the woman, I said, where did you ever get this? Did you have proof that he cheated? And she said, no. And I said, where do you get this belief? And I had her search. And do you want to know something, Nancy? It was not even happening. Her mother had laid that belief on her. She came in thinking it was always, men were all cheaters. And she was about to lose the love of her life because of it. See how we create from our beliefs?
We create from our beliefs, and most often our beliefs aren't even in our own voice.
No.
So that's why it's so critical to be able to trace back
yes.
to when these memories and messages were imprinted and what we made it mean about ourselves, others, and the world.
I love that. You're listening to 30-Minute Moments, and I'm Alena Chapman, and I have a fabulous guest, Nancy Levin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to 30-Minute Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you discover your true purpose on WOWO and at WOWO.com.
Welcome back to 30-Minute Moments. And I have Nancy Levin here. We talked about where we gave a little hint about how our beliefs structure everything in our life, including our relationships. And I want to ask, kind of now change the topic so we get a good rounded feel for the book and what Nancy Levin does. I want to kind of alter it just a little bit. Nancy, I want to ask you, because I've read your book and I found, oh my gosh, I felt like you knew my life. But I wanted to bring up, one thing in your book that really I just loved is that, okay, you found this love of your life and you're trying to form this relationship. But my gosh, he does things so differently and he acts so differently, or she does this thing so different. And you had a beautiful way that you talked about how we come to terms and we learn from that. Could you explain that to everyone?
Sure. The easiest way for me to talk about it is before, so in relationships prior to this one, I really looked at differences as being a problem.
Yeah. And
differences being a reason to want to run for the hills. And so... Yeah. So to the extent that I would package myself to be digestible to someone else, I would acquiesce. I would do whatever it took to make everything be okay.
Right.
So when we're living in fear of conflict, when we're conflict avoidant, when we're living in that space of what do I need to do or say to make everything be okay, when we're living in that space of, I'm afraid to rock the boat,
Yes.
it comes
So many
at
people.
a high cost to us.
Humongous cost.
So, yes. So the difference here and what I'm talking about creating is a container in your relationship that's actually strong enough to hold the truth of who you are and the truth of who I am.
I love
So
that.
it's not about me getting you over to my side, so to speak, or me needing to get over to your side. So, in fact, understanding that differences make us human, and
Yes.
differences actually are what attract us to one another, even though they're also triggering us at the same time.
That's our growth
So
right there.
that's our growth.
Yeah.
And that's how we return to wholeness.
Yeah.
So the real, the sort of pivotal moment here is understanding that our differences and even the conflict or the confrontation that can arise out of them isn't a problem. It's simply an opportunity for us to know ourselves on a deeper level and for us to actually come into deeper, intimate connection with our partners or with anyone with whom we're in a relationship.
That's true. I think that, when we begin to really start to accept who we are, all the beautiful flaws and all the beautiful, wonderful things about ourselves, and we start to love ourselves, then what really happens is we stop being so critical on our partner.
It's true. So,
Because we're getting complete. We're accepting. We're understanding that everybody's a unique person and that no one's going to do it quite the same way as I do. But it doesn't make it wrong. Yeah. And you're just more accepting of other people because you're accepting of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it is very cool. I love it. I love it. So when the person, but women will. Can you give them, okay, let's give them something concrete here, Nancy. Like, all right, so say I'm in a relationship and I am scared to rock that boat. I'm just, and I've been with him for, 25 years and I've always done everything he wants to do. How do now I'm getting very angry inside. I'm getting
You're getting resentful.
Resentful, yeah. So what should I do?
So part of the anger and resentment is coming from living a life that's other referenced.
Yeah.
Living a life where the attention is on the other. So the very first piece that needs to be put in place is to actually turn your attention back on you.
Yes.
Which it may not even be back. It may be for the first time. Turn your attention on you to start getting familiar with your own inner territory, your own inner landscape. You're literally, what do I feel? What do I want?
Yeah.
What do I need? Because when we're living other referenced, we're really waiting for someone else to tell us what's going on with us. In other words, this is really codependency. We're letting someone else's quote-unquote weather determine our own weather.
Yes, we are.
What's the other person's mood? In what way do I need to zig or zag? In what way do I need to tiptoe or walk on eggshells?
Oh, that's awful.
And so we're letting the other person determine our state. And so the first piece here is learning how to identify your own state, and then from there begin to no longer react to someone else, but actually operate from this place of authentic agency, where we can be direct and clear about what it is that we want and need.
And we don't need to come in like an army sergeant and say, I don't like anything that's been going on. No, we can do it with the love that's inside us. We can do it in a way. We can set boundaries. I set boundaries with my mom, but we have a beautiful relationship. We, most of the time, I think, and we laugh. We can be in the same room together and actually laugh and have a good time, where before it was very hard, but I had to set my boundaries, but I did it in a loving way. Yes?
Absolutely. I mean, that's actually what my next book is on.
I love it.
So I'm very immersed right now.
Yeah, I bet you are.
It's very important for us to understand that our boundaries are simply our limits around what we will or will not do, will or will not accept, will or will not tolerate or allow, and that it's not up to anyone else to uphold or respect our boundaries. It's up to us.
No, we have to teach people how to treat us.
We have to teach, exactly. And that when I bring this back to putting the attention on us instead of other, we want to come from the I instead of the you.
Yes.
So this is not about pointing the finger. This is not about blaming.
That's right.
This is about coming from my own experience, what I feel, what I think, what's happening for me.
It's coming back to the root, the beginning, the I.
Exactly.
You are here with 30-Minute Moments, and we're learning about relationships with Nancy Levin. We will be right back.
This is 30-Minute Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you find your inner self every Sunday on WOWO and at WOWO.com.
Welcome back to 30-Minute Moments, and you know what time it is. It is my favorite part, the shift. So we are going to talk to Nancy about her aha or pivotal moment. And Nancy, it is your story. What was it that got you to do what you do, helping so many people or whatever it is? What was a real aha moment in your life that just sort of changed everything?
Yeah, so the pivotal moment for me was when my now ex-husband read my journals. And
really?
Really.
Why would he do such a thing? That's a total invasion.
It is an invasion. And he discovered that I had had an affair 8 years prior.
Oh.
And no amount of trying to make anything better, or my good old people-pleasing skills, or my bending over backwards to fix and make everything okay worked. I spent 2 years trying to save the relationship, and he was really of the mindset of, you effed this up, you fix it, and was not willing to do any work around it, was not willing to go to therapy, was not willing to see it from a collaborative or co-creative lens.
He gave you an impossible task.
He gave me an impossible task. That's actually true.
Yeah.
And so
that's sad.
2 years after the journals were read, and again, this is after an 18-year marriage, I was able to finally leave the marriage, which really ignited in me the trajectory that I'm on now. So let me first say, I set a bomb in my journals that detonated 8 years later because I wasn't courageous enough to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And the experience of the exposure, which was really my greatest fear, because I really lived in this place of never let them see you sweat and projecting an image of perfection and really managing the perception of others, only giving them the lens that I wanted them to see me through.
Right.
As I then began to do the inner work I needed to do around healing, around truth-telling, around healing after leaving my marriage, I ended up going into a coaching program because I wanted to do the work on myself. So I started studying with my dear friend at the time, Debbie Ford, and my mentor, who is now passed. And I did this coaching training because I wanted to learn about myself.
Sure.
I had no idea that I would ever leave my job at Hay House. It was my dream job. But what I discovered after that year-long certification training was that I was unrecognizable. And it became my mission to help other people get free.
You know how many people are unrecognizable? How many people feel that way?
Let me say,
you know?
Right. But what I meant was that who I became was unrecognizable
I see.
from who I was. So I had such a dramatic shift.
You did. The other,
A dramatic shift.
I have to give you kudos, because really big kudos, because I did the same thing after my divorce. Mine was for different circumstances. I just wanted to work. I didn't want an affair. I just wanted to work. But still, divorces are divorces. But you know, after a divorce, and especially with that task he gave you, that was impossible. It must have beaten you down. So to have the courage, Nancy, the absolute courage to say, I need to take time to learn about me. I need to heal. That's humongous. Do you know that?
I do. Thank you. I do. It was the most important thing I could have done, was take that time with myself.
I think if more of us had that courage to do that, it would change our whole future for the better.
I would agree.
This is fantastic. If people want to get hold of you, what's the best way? Or to get your book, which is just out. It's fresh on the press.
Yes, it is. Everything's at my website. So nancylevin.com. Everything is right there.
Okay, and we'll have a link on that. And shall we tell them? Shall we tell them?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I am on Jumpstart Your Life on Hay House Radio with the lovely host, Nancy Levin, on the 15th of November, right? Or is it?
November 15th.
Okay.
And it's at 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern. And we take callers. So prepare your questions.
Guys, yes, call in. All you guys out there, if you're on podcast or whatever, 15th, 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific, correct? Call in.
Yes.
That would be fantastic. Oh, I'm so looking forward to it.
It's going to be awesome.
Well, everyone, this has been a wonderful show, because now you can go and you can start saying, you know what, I need to take the time to figure who I am. And the way I love to put it is that, you know what, we can't give what we don't have. So if we don't have the respect for ourselves, guess what? We're not giving the respect to other people. And if we don't have the love for ourselves, the love we're giving to other people is very limited. So we need to find ourselves first. Right. Thank you, Nancy, for being on. This is 30-Minute Moments, and I'm your host, Alena Chapman. If you want to learn more, go to alena360.com. And I look forward to having you here next week. And, of course, namaste.
This has been 30-Minute Moments featuring Alena Chapman. If you missed an episode, download it now at wowo.com.
Podcasts by Federated Media.